On May 1st, 1995, a very mysterious and elaborate full page announcement appeared in a small student newspaper belonging to the University of Arizona called the Arizona Daily Wildcat. On the same day, the next year, a similar looking full page announcement was printed in the same newspaper. This was followed up by another similar announcement the next year. Brian Hans, a student at the University of Arizona, had dismissed these announcements for the first two times he came across them. But after seeing them consistently appear on the same date year after year since he had joined the college in 1994, he finally decided to look into them. At the time, he had been working as the webmaster for the Wildcat and therefore had access to the newspaper's archives. Unbeknownst to him at the time, he had walked into one of the most elaborate mysteries the world has ever seen. When he started digging, Brian discovered ads dating back to 1981. There was one announcement every May 1st, alongside several smaller ones that appeared randomly throughout the year. Brian speculates that they might have been corrections, but others remain skeptical. A glance through these announcements reveals some pretty interesting points. Each announcement is unique, cryptic, and elaborate, and whoever is making them seems to be quite intelligent. Each puzzle is intricately designed, and the complexity seems to have evolved over time. These publications have included a dense array of mathematical equations, geometrical shapes, geographical coordinates, religious, philosophical, historical, and scientific references, symbology, art, portraits of historical figures, and texts in over 14 different languages. No average person would have the depth of knowledge required to recognize all of them, much less solve them. And despite the uniqueness of these announcements, they do have a few recurring elements. The phrases Mayday, SRCL, and Leitmotiv, the portraits of Oliver Cromwell, Martin Luther, John Calvin, and Gustavus Adolphus, and lastly, a hand-drawn figure of a smiling man, who has been affectionately nicknamed Smiley Guy. Many people think that this image of the Smiley Guy is a kind of a signature, and the number of his hair are somehow an important element in solving these puzzles. Brian's discovery of nearly 2 decades worth of publications raised a lot of questions, none of which he had the answer to. And like any other student studying computers during the early 90s, he decided to set up a website to document all of his findings. Since its establishment, the website has received a fair bit of publicity, and a lot of effort has gone into solving the mystery. Despite this, very little progress has been made. But the website did receive enough publicity that the organization behind these announcements contacted Brian in 1999 via email. The contents of this email are as cryptic as the announcement themselves, if not more. It talks about some kind of prize, but says that Brian has no idea of the immensity of it. It also criticizes the American educational system and gave clues to Brian, stating that the puzzles should be solved from the margins to the center and that Brian needs help with his languages. The extremely frequent spelling mistakes and lack of both punctuation and grammar seem to indicate that the email had been written by someone who knows very little English. But it could be possible that it's a deliberate attempt to throw off readers and reduce the chances of identification of the author. Whoever sent Brian that email didn't stop with one. Over the years, Brian has received over 100 emails, courier messages, and packages from around the country. Brian has uploaded almost all of the emails along with the data attached to them, like email ID and IP addresses. Most of these IP addresses are either located in the University of Arizona itself or nearby areas in Tucson. Brian also generously uploaded the pictures of the couriers and the contents of the packages sent to him on his website. Most of the text on the physical packages is written using crayon and appears to have been deliberately skewed to perhaps hide the sender's true handwriting. The spelling errors from the emails remain consistent, however. These announcements, of course, raise several obvious questions. Who is behind this cryptic, elaborate yearly tradition? Why are they doing this? Will these puzzles ever be solved? The answer to the first question came from the organization behind the announcements themselves. This organization calls itself the Orphanage, which they had revealed in an announcement back in 1989. Why they call themselves that is unclear, although some people speculate that the name is a reflection of the fact that they have orphaned themselves from their native cultures. The orphanage has made it clear over the years that this is no game and that they do have a cause. They have also said that the cause may not be Tucson centric, but I remain skeptical of that, considering that certain puzzles indicate that the orphanage has a great amount of information about Tucson that only a local could have. Interestingly, the orphanage has thanked Brian for setting up the website, stating that it has helped their goals a lot. They have even sent him money to keep the website running. But even after 2 decades of communications and 4 decades of puzzles, the identity of the members of the orphanage remains unknown. But there are several theories out there on who they might be. Brian, through some independent investigation, was able to find out that a lawyer by the name of Mr. Robert Truman Hungerford was the one placing the ads in the Wildcat for the last decade. He claims to be the legal counsel for the orphanage and has refused to discuss the origin of the ads. He claims that it's in all likelihood that I am a disturbed mentally ill person, and these writings are no doubt the ravings of a madman. Hans is convinced that Hungerford is just a member of the organization and not the mastermind. However, it's impossible to confirm whether he's a member or not. Others suspect that the orphanage is run by a secret society, with the announcements acting as a sort of invitation. Anyone who's able to solve them will be able to find the date and place for the next meeting. Some users on the paranormal board of 4chan suspect that these announcements are related to the McCain Foundation's Sedona Forum, an annual high-level private gathering of national and international leaders, held each spring at the Enchantment Resort in the Red Rock country of Sedona, Arizona. Members of this gathering include the Rothschilds, Hillary Clinton, and Tony Blair. Some link it to the celebration of an ancient pagan festival honoring Baal, the god of child sacrifices. Yet others say that these announcements could be tokens of honor celebrating the anniversary of the Augsburg Confessions. The frequent appearance of Martin Luther strengthens this theory. Some speculate that it might be in celebration of the Communist Labor Day, considering that several media announcements have had the phrase "Long live Chairman Mao" written in Chinese. But there's always the chance that it's just an old lawyer shitposting on a college newspaper. After digging into this mystery for months, there is only one thing that comes to my mind: that this mystery is far more complex and grander than any of us can comprehend. It's easy to get lost in these puzzles. Each puzzle contains a wealth of information, perhaps to throw us off, using information to conceal information. At first, the ads appear to be a challenge of wits, but as you delve deeper, you see the recurring theme of social, political, religious, and economic unrest and revolution. All of the 4 most frequent portraits are of great reformers. The announcements appear to be a sort of communication device that is foretelling some sort of an upcoming revolution. The most difficult question to answer here, however, is why. Why would a secret society of super intelligent beings post cryptic poster in a small student run newspaper with a readership of a few thousands? If we say that they only wanted to target the local population, then why would they support Brian's website, which exposed the mystery to millions of people all over the world? And if they wanted a wider audience, why not publish the announcements in a newspaper with a greater readership? Money doesn't seem to be a problem here, considering how expensive full page ads are and the fact that they have sent money to Brian to keep his site running. The most likely explanation for this is that they changed their goals after seeing the impact that Brian's website had done. Far more people came across their announcements through Brian's website, more than any newspapers could have done. People were actively working together on a large scale to solve these puzzles, an effect that a newspaper never could have replicated. In my opinion, the orphanage is most likely made up of former students and faculty of the University of Arizona, which might be able to explain the variety of knowledge they seem to possess. This is aided by the fact that some of the emails sent by the orphanage have the IP addresses seemingly coming from the University of Arizona and the general Tucson area. But in the end, whoever they are and why they are publishing these announcements will most likely remain unsolved.